through how you've taken in the branding of this team being called the C team because of what we call the first choice players staying in South Africa to play in SA20?
Hello, Kanisha, how are you? Can you hear me?
I'm good.
Good, man. Yes, no, obviously it is what it is. It's a magnificent opportunity for this team that's been selected, to play over in New Zealand. So I think a lot of these players got excellent first-class records. So sometimes in life it works out that your opportunity comes in different ways. A lot of these players might have missed out because there's an established test team, and now that there's opportunity for them to play, I think that's just perfect for them.
And how have the players mentally adapted to this particular opportunity? I mean, as you would say that opportunities like these don't generally come around very often, but through necessity, they've now been gifted a golden chance to actually play Test cricket.
Yeah, look, I think at the end of the day, it's just about preparing well enough for the test matches. They know that there's a lot of expectation on them. There's a lot of additional pressure. Obviously, a lot of people are watching, and there'll be crowds. So I think it'll be followed all around the world. So these players are very much aware of what's the expectations. And for us, it's just to try, take as much pressure off them as possible. The guys are really preparing well. So I think the New Zealand squad got announced today, so we'll go a little bit more in depth around that. So just at the moment, it's about getting used to conditions. So we had some very good facilities. We've practiced at 2 different facilities, which has given us slightly, different conditions. And so yeah, at the moment it's going as well as it can.
What have you made of the conditions in New Zealand thus far over the past week and a bit?
Yeah, I think we were fortunate when we practiced at Hagley Park Oval. It was sort of prepared wickets over a couple of weeks, I think. So I think it gave us a good idea what wickets would be like day 3, 4 and 5. Then we moved over to Lincoln University, so much more greener, so it gave us a good idea of what day 1 and 2 would be like. So I think we've been fortunate to get exposed to what we can expect on different days, which is good. Yes.
And how important does it that one theory becomes, because of that Boyden group in particular, he's the one who carries a bit of test experience. For such an assignment, how important does he become?
Obviously very important. He's got 15 test caps in his belt. Very experienced cricketer. He's played in England for a lot of time, a lot of his career. And obviously a lot of these cricketers are experienced cricketers. So, but in terms of that additional pressure that he knows what it's all about, he can help the youngsters, and I think especially around practice he's done that very well. We've spoken to our bowlers, just basically trying to get them to settle down and really focus on the basics, because all these guys, they got good skill. So it's just to back that skill and back that basics. And so if we can do the basics well for long enough, I think that's where someone like him brings in a lot of value.
And when you look back at the 2A series that took place, that would be in the West Indies, how critical will they become for this particular assignment? When you look back at actually what Kevin Sinclair, how well he's played for the West Indies, having actually played very well for West Indies Day when they played South Africa A.
Yeah, I think we were actually very fortunate that we got that, this situation sort of panned out way before this New Zealand series. We could almost pick the team for that A series against the West Indies. So between Coach Conrad, myself and the rest of the coaching staff, we've had now good time with these players, knowing that most of them were going to go to New Zealand. And, we had a good series against West Indies. So, it's all about getting to know the players, their character, what they can do at certain stages of the game. So I think that West Indians experience in terms of getting the team together was absolutely gold. So now it's getting into this, stage. It's almost like, well established.
And how's the reaction been in New Zealand with regards to the team that has actually traveled there? I know that when the team was picked, the Australians in particular, Steve Waugh would be the most obvious example. He had a lot to say about the composition of the team. How's the reaction been in New Zealand with the team that you guys have traveled with?
No, nothing really. I think New Zealand has really welcomed us with open arms. All the people we've dealt with is really, they're looking forward to the series. So we've experienced nothing negative, to be honest.
And I think finally, South Africa have never lost a test series to New Zealand. How often have the players talked about this, talked about the pride of going to a country like New Zealand and keeping their beaten streak intact, even though for what it can be said for the first time, South Africa go as proper underdogs to a series in New Zealand.
No, look, I mean, it's part of the motivation for us, obviously. It's we realise that since the 1930s or something like that, we haven't lost a series. And like I said in the beginning, we know what the expectations are on us. But, we are, very motivated to, play for the badge and make sure that, every guy puts in every inch because, it's a tough game. And it goes deep into 5 days. So we just need to prepare ourselves to make sure that we, we can compete, and we know we're gonna compete against New Zealand. So if we can, get out the series with either a win, or a draw, that will be fantastic for us.
Thanks.
Okay, that's it from my side.
Thanks, Kaniswa. I see Nathan and Obama have joined as well, so we'll give them an opportunity to ask a couple of questions. Nathan?
Okay.
Thank you very much, Lucy. Good day. Piet, I just got 3 questions. You've had time now to assess the bowlers at training, and I'm assuming you during the domestic season as well. How do you assess the current crop of bowlers you currently have?
Yeah, look, we've got some very experienced bowlers. Dane Patterson, Duan Olivier, Moreki has really done well last couple of seasons. We've got some good all-rounders, that got some good discipline in their bowling, and we've got some very good spinners in Dane Piet and Sean van Berg, and then Hilbrand can also do a job. So I think from a skills point of view, we've got a lot of skills covered. We can play different roles at different stages of the game. So I think, we're well covered in the bowling group.
What are you expecting from your own bowlers as the bowling coach?
Look, I think it's just about good attitude. They've got the ability, they've got the endurance. Obviously they understand that test matches can go deep into 5 days. So, there's going to be stages where you're going to be challenged in different ways. The guys are very aware of that. We're training and preparing for that. Stats show in New Zealand that, it can become very good batting conditions. You can get, high scores of 350 plus. And it's about mentally staying strong. And I think with the experience we've got, these guys realize that, and they understand that when it goes deep into the game, what's required, in terms of executing all the time and building around plans.
As mentioned, Duan is on 15 test caps, I think, which isn't a lot for the bowlers in tests. Do you think this could be a challenge for the bowlers in terms of leadership and management on field?
Yeah, look, I think there's a lot of first-class experience, like I said. So obviously you've got to back that experience. A lot of cricketers, that's come into a test scene and done well straight away in the test series or the test scene. So I think in terms of this bowling attack, who's got a lot of experience, there's no reason why they can't come into the test arena and just do well straight away. I mean, someone like Duan, it's obviously an advantage that he's He's played a couple of test matches, 15, like you said. But for the rest of the guys, I think, they're feeding off him well, and they think they know exactly what is expected.
Thanks, Nathan. On Gama, I'll give you a go if you've got any further questions.
Thanks, Lucy. Coach, a lot of people know a lot about Dane Pedersen and Duan Olivier, but at the very same time in the team we've got guys like Michel Mbongwana, Rowan Tiswat, that a lot of people don't know about these guys. But with your experience, having worked with them in the domestic circuit with Eastern Province, SWT recently, these guys very well.